How's it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here, bringing you guys a brand new Hunter x Hunter chapter discussion. And for today's segment, guys, we're going to be talking about is chapter 363, folks. Oh yes, the first prince, Benjamin, is making his move, folks. Holy cow, we gotta watch out for this guy, because apparently even the prince of the king is actually looking at him and saying, can't wait to see what you got in store for us. And I'm looking at this like, okay guys, okay, we're gonna be in for some pretty cool moments right here, due to the fact that now that Benjamin's actually now heading towards actually killing his own brothers and sisters, because he's a little bit irritated at the fact that there's no stability and there's no how, like, I would say it's not going the way that he kind of sees, as he sees everybody else is more like a hindrance towards the succession war, as he sees that he sees himself as the blood and only the first person to be like, you know what, let me just make things right and let me just actually show these little kids as to what it means to be. Because as he was saying in the chapter, that what I was kind of noticing is like all the young kids weren't necessarily battle ready, or they were ready for war, but maybe like the top four themselves, yeah, they might be ready. But in my honest opinion, yeah, Benjamin might seem like he's actually a pretty formidable opponent in terms of brains. Not necessarily brains, I should say, I'm sorry, he does have brains from this chapter, but more or less say it's not necessarily brains, it's more like he has patience. That's what I kind of noticed, that I was like, wait a minute, I'm a little surprised that you're actually a little bit patient. You're taking the time to think things, to actually think things logically, and actually able to actually formulate a plan, as he was with his own private army, and he's actually able to send out all his private army members towards each and every one of the princes. So in order for him to actually kind of, you could say, formulate a plan with the Nen beast and his own abilities in acquiring Nen, like I said, he's actually thinking ahead. You know, he's actually multitasking on this journey itself. That it goes on to say, like, respect for Benjamin as a character. I thought he literally was just gonna be a hot-headed person who said, ripping his shirt off, saying, all right guys, that's it, I'm going in all out. And I'm like, no, he's actually going in there level-headed with his actual men itself, which makes sense. And by level-headed, I mean as to like a commanding king. He's getting ready with his forces, and he's getting ready to actually, you know, wither his foes down. And also the fact that not necessarily the Nen beasts themselves aren't right now a predicament or a problem right now in itself. It's more or less to say that the hunters that are around the princesses are the ones that are actually a problem, because they're more experienced in using Nen, and they're more familiar with it, and they're actually more, you could say, not prodigies, but more to say that they're more aware of what's around them than the princes themselves. The hunters themselves are actually the ones that are really the ones that the prince actually has to watch out for, and Benjamin knows that. And not actually Benjamin, but like, you know, one of his own men told him, but still, seeing that he's actually saying, oh, you know, the hunters themselves are the ones that we have to watch out for, that means that the hunters are the ones that we need to actually go and kill and actually get some information as to what kind of Nen abilities they are able to possess, in order for him to know as to what he's actually up against. Like I said, respect to Benjamin right there as a character. Like, wow, you know, he's actually laying down the lines. I would think that Sernish would actually be the one to actually do all this, but no, he's more focused on himself, and he seems more like, you know, he's actually focusing on his Nen training. And that goes on to say that he just might be kind of frightened as to know what kind of techniques this guy might actually possess in the later chapters, because it seems that his Nen beast is a very creepy personification of his own idealistic ideals. It's just crazy, guys. But still though, this is definitely Benjamin's chapter. Definitely worth noting as well. I'm kind of sorry for Kurapika, because Kurapika did try to actually focus himself more on this chapter, but no, he was a little bit hindered due to the fact, like I said, Benjamin was taking a very serious role, and also the fact that I do want to talk about Camille herself as a character. We do have to watch out for Camille, but Camille, it seems that more or less to say that her character is more along the lines that it's like an immature brat. like, because it's not going her way, she gets very frustrated, and by that she just throws a fit. Doesn't necessarily do anything, but just throws a fit and tells her man, oh, I want this to happen, so it should happen like this. It's not how technically it works in politics. I mean, technically it can if you have the money, but with Camille's case, she needs to more along the lines to have a more authority figure than just blatantly yell out, this needs to happen, this, no. She needs to actually take control and actually assess the situation, which does not necessarily seem to be doing. Or maybe I could be wrong, and maybe later in the chapter she might be like this giant ass, like, formidable foe that we have to watch out for, with like some treacherous like acts that she's been doing. But for now, I kind of don't see her as like a formidable foe, due to the fact that what Benjamin was doing and what he's actually accomplishing as well, and also the fact that we actually have to watch out for is because of Benjamin's private army. Now that they're scattered all over, it seems that every information that's on board is very important. So everybody that has any information, the one that has the most information or lets out information, is also a potential threat. So because Kurapika is pretty smart, Kurapika might be in seriously dire situation because of the fact that even Benjamin and his men were actually looking for the person that was actually telling every one of the other ones about Nen itself, or at least relaying information on that. So technically they're going to be looking for Kurapika. So Kurapika is really now in a situation where he himself might be interrogated and actually killed, or more or less say it might be getting close to actually being killed. But needless to say, like I said, very interesting to see how this chapter goes. Respect for Benjamin as a character as a whole. And I'm trying to think as to if there's anything else that I might have missed in the chapter. Oh, that's right, of course, the private armies are now attacking the other hunters themselves. So I'm wondering as to what's happening with Kurapika's own men that are out there. Maybe they might get interrogated, just like how back in the Chimera Ant arc, when one of the characters was just like dissected to know about Nen, which kind of seems to be more playing along the lines of that. So I'm hoping that maybe Hanzo, he might get interrogated, but he's a ninja, so maybe we might get more screen time of him. It'd be interesting to see another one of the, seeing as to what kind of Nen abilities this guy might have possessed. Maybe. Don't know that for sure. Every new arc that Hunter x Hunter comes out, freaking previous members that have passed the Hunter exam are slowly dying, guys. Slowly. And also Melody herself hasn't shown to the extent of what her Nen abilities are as well. Or at least in combat wise right now. As her combat abilities could be pretty useful right now. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Let me know down in the comments, guys. What are you guys' thoughts on the latest chapter? What are you guys' thoughts on Benjamin as a character? What are you guys' thoughts on the fact on Cammy? Do you guys think she's gonna be a potential threat? Because I've said not right now. Maybe in the future, but just not right now. I just don't see the threat. And also, what are you guys' thoughts on the princesses? Private army. What are they going to be doing to actually showcase Nen abilities? Will everybody's Nen abilities be actually relayed information to Benjamin? Because remember, Benjamin is trying to lay down all the cards right now, so things are getting a little bit tough, guys. But like I said, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. But this is Mr. Zen signing out. Yeah.